Well, the comment section now. Like, justice for high priest.
Justice.
Yeah, man.
And Chevelle's purple
Shevz is a bad boy singer, you know.
Yeah, cool. She's sick, man.
Like, I didn't realise it. I want to put it on record. I didn't know, innit? So, like, now I know. I have to raise the issue.
I'm going to let them know on record, off record, around the corner from the record. Shevz smoked up High Priest.
Oh, that's fine.
Big up Shevz.
Trust me, big up
What's the
Shevz.
people saying? What's the vote saying?
No, but I love sis, man.
She smoked him, yeah?
Smoke, he didn't have nothing
She
to
smoked
say.
him in energy as well.
Trust
You
me.
know, and you know what's mad?
Trust me.
She could spit what he's spitting.
I feel like he fell back for a
and
portion,
she's still
innit?
better.
He fell back for a portion because he assessed all the energy.
No,
and
he
was
didn't
like,
assess.
Let me go sleep for a
Right,
while.
cool. He assessed, and then after the assessment, the conclusion was, I'm hurt.
Yep.
Yeah. Straight.
I'm hurt.
Straight. I see it. I see all of
And
it.
What do you think he was hurt about? I think
Because Shevz said-
we showed the first part second. Yeah, we showed the first part of that pod second because we were talking about certain relevant issues to do with mobiles and whatnot with Des and that. So we put that part out first. So you kind of see High Priest there, and you see me busting my joke about right. So boom, you know you got smoked in the sound clash, and he's like, let the people them judge. But I think initially High Priest kind of fell back because of he got approached on the bitch thing kind of thing. No. You know what? It weren't even that. It weren't even that.
It weren't that.
It was
right?
yeah, because Chevelle said no.
Yeah.
When I was answering, I was
convicted.
yeah. She
She stood on business.
She's getting a
Stood on
cold.
business.
It was cold, man. It was cold.
It was cold.
Everything about it was like tone.
No, it
words
was cold.
chosen,
The
like,
tone
you know what I
came
mean?
from the conversation before, as I perceived it, right? So my perception is the tone came from the bitch thing, what I believe was before the music.
Oh, you think the
comment.
bitch thing triggered her?
I think so. If I remember correctly, the bitch thing was triggered him. The bitch thing was before the music thing. And then now Chevelle's in that because he didn't take it the way she thought he might take it. And then blam, there's feelings being flung around, innit? But without the bitch comment, I think Chevelle might have answered that comment in a more of a roundabout way. But I rate Chevelle because you're meant to be honest and true to who you are. And if that's how you respond in honesty, then who could tell you anything, innit? I don't like your thing. I like it for you, but it's not for me. I rate that. That's all right. That's all right. I like what the Migos have done. I'm not going to play the Migos in my car. Simple, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah, no, she was cold. The no was cold. I would have had an issue.
Big up, Chef.
I would have had an issue. So I don't blame High Priest for feeling the way of how she said no. But like her taste is her taste as well.
And can I just add, she only gave 2% of her talent in the clash.
And with the bitch statement as well, yeah. I didn't get involved, yeah. Cause quite frankly, it just didn't trigger me. Like, get me. That's someone else's argument. I ain't here to police a man and be like, yo, man, what you calling them bitches for, man? What's understood doesn't need to be explained in certain circumstances.
100%.
And schooling a man on how to address women, that's his prerogative. You get me? He probably wouldn't call his mum a bitch, innit? Right. So I don't know. I can recognize he's targeting. You know what they say? Hit dogs holler. You get me? So it obviously, as a black woman, she felt she had to take up her arms, and I understand that. For me, as a black man, I felt like, even if you see the way I explained it, I said, you know, I've met lots of black women from You never hear me calling.
Yeah.
No. But I will use the word bitch, but you never hear me using it in his way.
Both sides is bitches.
That's his vernacular, innit?
Right,
Some people come and sit here and call each other nigga all day, innit?
But because his preference, you see his preference matches everything black. So then when he says the word bitch and she hears it in an emotional sense, she's going to attach the sister them to everything that's going on. But if he turned around and said there was a European thing in there or a next thing in there or a next thing in there, I don't know if she would have had that same
it's
vim.
It's a fine line, isn't it? Yeah. People are very sensitive nowadays. You feel me? People are very sensitive nowadays. And for me, I'm jaded. I've heard and seen it all going on. It's like I can't be reacting to everything. Like with wisdom, with time, with experience, you realise that being reactionary is not where it's at. So I'm not necessarily moved to be like, oh, give you the speech of bitch or say what you want to fucking say.
Say what you
It's
say,
like that's
bro.
you, really. You're repping you.
Yeah.
100%.
I know people will be like, oh, well, it's your platform and you should challenge. I challenge
No, but
what I
you're not
want when I
police.
want.
You're not
It was
police.
like, get me. And Shevz handled their biz. I don't need to intervene. Shevz has done a
she's
good
stood on
enough job.
hers.
Yeah.
You get me? Don't need to be four man saying the same.
represented
She
herself.
said what she's repped. The
was
black
it,
woman
yeah.
has let you
100,
know
yeah,
she ain't
100.
feeling it. And then
Yeah.
for you lot to have your discourse on that. You get me? Because
But what I would have liked to have seen, I must say, is High Priest take it a bit more.
Grown.
I don't know
maybe.
what the right word. Grown. It's a bit whitey, but just hold like I can't say it without
Mature.
getting cussed. Hold what she's saying.
I think he
innit?
did hold what she
I don't
said.
think he,
No,
no,
but
I don't think he did because I feel like the rest of the episode, his
No.
energy was based off of
his episode.
what was said.
His episode went down.
No.
Okay, you challenged him on that. He
Yeah.
took that. He was cool with that.
Yeah.
His energy went down later on when it came to the no. Would you? I think you should no.
Yeah,
That's,
but then
no. Let's be. We gotta be human, innit?
Yeah,
You're a rapper, innit?
you know you can
And
be
she said it.
human.
Wait. Yeah, be human. Yeah, you're a rapper. Someone's just said, "Oh, rah, you lot would make a." I think you. And then before that person even finished a sentence, you've got the other person's gone no. Right? And then it's like, okay, rah, like you're trying to get me. I'm an artist. You're supposed to be proud of your thing. He's a rapper. No rapper's supposed to be like, rah, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? You should be lucky to do a tune with me. In your head, you think you're the best artist.
was
So
shut down.
I feel like from then,
That was
they
shut
had
down.
their
No,
exchange.
but watch this though.
Hold on. From there, they had their exchange, and his energy went down from then. And then they had the sound clash, and he remember at one point he was like, I don't even play my tune no more. Like his energy gone that down. get me?
But you
Then
see,
the sound clash happened. And then,
Done.
Chevelle, he done his
Done.
thing. It was nice. His energy started coming up a bit.
Yeah.
And then she done her thing.
Yeah.
Like, man, I had to hold a
cool.
little,
But you know what it's like?
a little high.
Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like? It's like complimenting a gal to boost her ego a little bit. Fuck all that. If she's not feeling you, be confident enough in yourself to say, cool, I get that you don't like me, but I'm the shit. You know what I'm
I hear
saying?
you.
I'm done. There's no like, oh, I'm not gonna play my tune now because there's
on
man
the
like
vocals,
me,
it was shut down.
there's man like me that like High Priest. So I would have been waiting to hear your
100.
tune.
100.
You see what I'm saying?
100.
But no, you didn't want to do that. I think that's girly, bruv.
But
Like,
based on emotions, it was shut down,
right, based on the lack of controlling your own emotion,
that's right.
you felt like you needed to behave like this because you got shut down. You see what I'm saying? So it's still based on yourself. Otherwise, you're basing it on. If you're basing it on her, you've already lost. I don't care what you said. I'm the shit.
Is this why you reacted the way you did?
What now? Tell me something now. Do you know what I mean?
Big up High Priest, big up Shevz.
Yeah, big up High Priest.
You know what
Big
I
up
mean?
High Priest, big up
Yeah,
Shevz.
man.
He was sulking, though.
Context.
Yeah, he definitely held us
But in the
up.
clash, you got
definitely
smoked.
good, man.
In the clash, okay.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Smoking.
I wish we could have
here
got
for
2
it. I'm
tunes
here
out
for
of the meet. Now when I'm looking back on it, I'm like, yo, it would have been nice. Showcase their talents and that. Do you know what I mean?
I would have sat
Yo,
there for
Shevz is
10 songs,
talented.
10
He's
songs.
talented too, but Shevz is
Swear on.
talented, man.
Shevz is, bro, Shevz ain't even started doing ballads and showing what her voice
All
is
right.
like.
All right.
Do you know that Chevelle will shut down shows?
This is the thing now.
Chevelle will have people in the audience.
she just done a
waving their
little-
hands from
That
side
was
to
my
side.
introduction to Shevz.
Yeah, she
was
done a light
ballads and real
light
singing.
rapping
Like
thing
real
and
live
the
singing.
little light
She's done
singing.
that.
She's amazing.
When she's
Like,
ready.
she's absolutely
She
amazing.
done like, don't make her come
Instant
in there
fan.
and mimic anything
Instant
Whitney Houston, anything ballad, anything, because you're gonna hire her for your wedding.
She will mash it
Chevelle
up.
is
She will
cold.
mash
Done
it
a
up.
few weddings and stuff like that.
Swear down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
see,
course.
Chevelle's
I know she
cold.
made some people cry.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I know she made some people
yeah.
cry. Yeah.
Has
Tear
she ever been
jerkers.
around like the music business in any kind of capacity professionally?
Huh?
Has anyone been around her in the music business from the music? Has she had any opportunities like that at all that you know? I see the couple of videos and that. online, but
Yeah,
feel like
I mean,
that's all self-made, like you know.
yeah, no, just it's just the fam, man. Just the team. Get me. Shout out SMFY. And you get me.
And can I say, yeah, in her defense, you might disagree. The industry that she might be trying to walk through, I don't think it's gonna accept her until you do the type of thing like let's imagine like cooking with Kyle, for example. You gotta be very exposed, you gotta be very sexual, you gotta be very feminine. Sometimes that's not where I feel.
Even I feel like even more so now. There's a lot more pressure for that, for imagey things, and to force people to
definitely.
do certain things.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chevelle's like her thing is a little bit separate, and I think she can.
She can do it.
She can do whatever. She just needs the exposure.
can do
Her
it.
thing's
Yeah,
a
100%.
little bit separate. But I do understand what you're saying. And not to say that Shevelle in herself doesn't have that side to her, because she does. Do you know what I mean? When she's ready to turn up and, you get me, get the girls out or whatever, she does her thing. You get me? So,
Yeah, she seems very confident. to
yeah,
me.
yeah, she does her thing, man. She's good to go,
But
really.
then-
She
but
just needs...
She's confident, but I wouldn't want to see Chevelle twerking to her tune.
But she's
in the
never
middle.
will be doing that, man.
Exactly.
that ever
No, but
happening.
this,
I don't see that
but
ever
this is the difference between floor and ceiling in the industry that everybody's looking forward to. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes the floor is being who you are, and the ceiling
But there are
is being who
exceptions.
you're
There are
not.
exceptions to this rule.
Do you know what I mean?
There are
But what we're
exceptions.
saying now, we're saying
You know what I mean? 'Cause her
potentially.
talent is actually that much.
Potentially sex sells.
No, but what I think you're
That's
saying is,
it.
if
Always
she
has
had
been
an
that.
opportunity in the music game or something properly, professionally,
I think she would
you
blow.
think, yeah, no, let me say what I'm saying. I think you're saying that she would potentially have to maybe do something like that to get noticed.
100%.
Is that what you're saying?
Who said that?
No, that's what he's
That's
saying.
what I'm
That's what he's
saying.
saying, yeah.
100%. She would have to do something, either say something provocative, look provocative, or do something mad in a video, and then it's gonna get
You
a
know
whole
what,
nother.
I don't
side
think
of
she-
the
I don't
argument.
think you'd have to.
You know
I
what?
don't think you'd have to.
That can apply for people that may not, like a lot of people have voice in it, but like she's got
Character.
she's got uniqueness. She's got something about her, yeah, and her voice is A1. And that's not even with vocal training or nothing like
Just
that.
naturally.
I feel like for her versatility and her
amazing.
range in music
It's
is what
amazing.
sets her
It's amazing.
apart from other people. Do you know what I mean? Styling, all these other things, they're things that go for marketing and that. And
got a
that's
tune for
something
everyone.
that's something that she ain't had. Most people ain't had that marketing hand to, oh, we're gonna go this way, rare. She never had a stylist or nothing like that. Get me? But I
them
don't
kind of
think
guidance
that
there.
it's even with what she does. I just don't. I think that she's actually perfect for like in her. Do you know what I mean? I don't think she's gonna. There's nothing twerky about what she does or whatever.
But-
I feel
but
like her things.
Can I just add? to
Her
that?
thing's cool.
I think the perfection to her style would come in something like, let's say, you might disagree, let's say a musical, voiceovers, ballads, wedding stuffs, things like that. But then you see when it comes to the entertainment side of things or the industry side of things, I don't feel like, let me not speak for her. I'm saying for myself, I don't feel like she would fit that demographic because the way I know her, she wouldn't be willing to style up them demographics. So she would stay in her lane. But then what's good about knowing your lane is you can exceed in the lane that you're in and have no
What would
need
you
to
say?
look
Okay,
above.
okay. What would you say her lane is?
I was me.
Yeah.
You put her in like a singing theatre type of thing. You put her as ballads. You put her as a singer. Cool. You start to put her as an R&B artist and a rapper. Then I believe that starts to broaden the want of exposure and the want of you have to be more sexualized and things like that. And I'll leave it there. Full stop.
Well, I'm going to answer what you originally asked me. And I think the type of artist she is, I just don't think you can actually even bring them into the game and try and attempt to say, oh, you got to twerk or you got to do something. I just don't think it happens to artists like her if they get brought into the system. And
agree
if
with
someone does say that's a big red flag to say, I don't need to be working with these people.
But most of them have done that. Aaliyah, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, Lauryn Hill, all of them have come in the game innocent.
I think they
and
wanted
fully
to do it.
clothed. I don't know. I feel like they wanted to, maybe, or they were coerced into, maybe. I weren't there.
You
Dynamite never done it.
you accidentally put Lauryn Hill in there.
Yeah, that's what I think. Dynamite
Lauryn
never
Hill,
did it.
What's she done?
Okay, fair.
I worked with Dynamite. She never did it once.
Yeah.
She never did it once.
But Dynamite, I feel like she stayed true to certain things, and that's why her career hit a ceiling. Now, if you say no to certain, if you don't
That's
say no,
interesting.
do
But
you know what I mean?
would you agree? Would you? I know that might be a hard thing to say for you, but like,
no, it's not hard.
would you
Not hard
agree
about it
that
at all.
there's that she's hit a ceiling? She's
No,
hit a
not at
ceiling
all.
in her
I
career.
don't even think she even reached her full potential.
Why?
Well, hence that's kind of amounts to the same thing though.
Why?
No, because my thing is, personally knowing it, innit, and being part of the story, I think it went from no one really knowing you to everybody looking at you in the street and saying hello. and that's a big head fuck for a lot of people. Yeah, that's why a lot of people turn to recluse and all these type of things.
Yeah.
And I think when you have so much success straight away, sometimes what's
overload.
happening, all the problems come after. Because guess what? It's about how do I manage this success? How do I live in this success? How do I adapt in this success? Right?
Am I wrong to say if she managed it in a less mannerisable way, would she still in a less? So if she dealt with the thing with no manners and just decided to be scatty with it, could you have seen potential for her to move from where she was?
Yeah, but what
I could have if she decided to be the scatty rapper after Miss Dynamite in a full tracksuit, Miss Dynamite tee all nice and PG orientated and whatever. Bust up a little garage was so solid, cool. But then if she started to sexualise herself, I believe that ceiling would have grew so much more higher because you've seen it with all these artists that came before. And most of these artists come from a church singing background or a country vibe or a less sexualised version of life. Then all of a sudden, they let out a one innocent album, then the next thing is Bad Girl Riri or Sasha Fierce or what could have been Dynamite.
All right, so let's...
All right, let me answer. What I think is this. I think the points you're making are quite valid if that's what's happening. But what you're doing is you're making assumptions. I'm taking from what you're saying on where you think Dynamite is or what happened to her. My thing is she had a hot album. Second album weren't that hot. Took a bit of a break, had a child, had a son. Really focused on that. And then she's popped her head back up when it was the Katie B thing, couple things. But when I speak to her and what I know of Naomi is this. She doesn't really just write songs, for everyone to listen. Like some people get into the game and they just realise they know how to write a pop song or a hit song and they just repeat it and they make money out of that and it's good, right? She's not that type of artist. She's the type of artist, she's got to do a bit of living before she comes with the next subject matter. Right? She's got enough subject matter now. I know, I've heard some of it and I just talking to her, I know. So now it's about the decision, do I want to come again? And what that means. Okay. Because a lot of people, she's a real one is what I'm saying.
Me not knowing Miss Dynamite, I kind of saw some of that, like having a baby and all that.
Yeah.
And like, we kind of see it with lots of female artists. They get to a certain point and they either get married and have a baby and then they kind of take their foot off the gas. And I feel like the market is, for some reason, whenever we do things, they age our shit, innit? So the market is, we've moved on now, kind of thing. Sometimes you leave and there's that same space ain't there for you. Like...
Yeah, I don't think that's happened to her.
No, I'm not saying that. But we've seen that with lots of artists, right? That they disappear. They were hot. They go cold because they had a baby or whatever. Actresses and that, and it's like they don't get back on their mojo. They don't get back on it, right? So we kind of have a shorter shelf life for black artists in general, like to be like you're popping unless you become what they call an icon. Now I think Miss Dynamite is on the icon cusp. Yeah, she's close to there, because there's so much nostalgia around
100%,
her. Right?
100%.
So I feel like when you're an artist like that, you always have a space to come back. But what we are talking about is not having a space to come back, but is will you ever fulfill the potential that people saw in you to be like this megastar? And it really depends on if that's what the person wants. Do you know what I mean? Because there's enough
very good point.
There's enough bread in there. Do you want to be like what we talking about?
Listen, where I was getting to with that answer was this: is where you're going. Like, Naomi's in charge of Naomi, so no major label can't come in her face and fool up her head and make her come out, and she can't. They just can't.
And this is
so the fool up your head is what, like, actually give you shit deals or encourage you to do
the
things.
fool up your head is like, hey, you need to get back out there, man. You had too much of a break, right. Like some people fall into it and just get guided into whatever. Like even if you'll notice, enough people will come out and have like 5 hit albums. If they take a break in between, it's very hard to catch that energy back, which I think what you're saying, right? And it happens with big acts, right?
Timing definitely is a thing, though, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, I think fact shows you that it is, right? Looking at history, that's what I'm saying, right? And my thing is with Nye has never been in love with the game that much, from what I understand. She can speak for herself, but from what I know of her, do you know what? You can't just... She ain't just going to jump up and come do anything for anyone. But if she comes to do her thing, she's going to do it.
All right.
Yeah? And that's what I know.
This is why now, you see the way I perceived Miss Dynamite, for example. I've perceived this woman, as seeing something in front of her that she doesn't agree with, so she said no, and her career stopped there.
We like to think
hold
of
on,
artists
hold
in
on,
that,
hold on.
yeah,
How
sorry.
did you get there, though? How did you get there?
Hold on, you got
We
there.
just make these
In
assumptions,
the
innit?
beginning, it's an
idea.
assumption.
It's an idea.
It's an assumption.
Like you go off the
Yeah,
blueprint, if I could add
you
to
go.
of a Lauryn Hill,
do.
because it's like when they come back, they do slightly hint at
Yeah.
Jamelia.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
Jamelia's
Her
latest
thing
stuff?
is mad.
D. Have you seen?
I saw a title the other day.
No,
I was
no,
like,
wait, hold on.
Big up
Hold
Jamelia,
on.
though. I like
Crazy.
So
That's crazy.
let's be real. We're putting Dynamite and that in this type of lane of you was talented, successful. Actually, the mainstream was seemed to be receptive to you, rare. You got
like
to a
they
certain
love
point,
her, man. They love
you
her.
got to a
Seemed like they
certain
was doing well.
point,
No, it seemed
and
like they was doing
then
well.
you just gone and go get
Obscurity.
married or have a youth or rare, and just so
There's many
from our
answers to that.
perception, we think, rah, you know what?
You've seen
You
something,
see stuff.
and you're
And
like,
like you're
yo.
not part, and you're not really trying to go further.
man
Like,
read that.
and you know
yeah,
what?
but
You know
let
what?
me
You know
answer
what?
that.
'Cause
100%.
sorry, I'm just giving the picture because 9 out of 10 of them come back and say some stuff like, you know what? I love this rare, but I saw certain things that I weren't really into, or I saw it going in a direction, and for my own peace of mind, I decided to kind of take
Can
my
I say
foot off the
something?
gas.
Yeah, because listen, I'm going to say it now, yeah? I know everything that went on with Nye back then and all that. I know everything because I'm a manager. So what I'm saying is that I was more in charge than anyone around her with Nye. Like in terms of Naomi listened to me and I was her manager, no one really could get between that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they
Yeah.
did, that's when it kind of fell apart,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I'm saying to you,
When they did. So it
I said
happened.
if they did,
Oh, if they did.
yeah, that's when it kind of fell apart, right?
Yeah.
But remember, I've experienced that game fully up to now. I'm working with labels. Like I'm in and out of buildings. I'm talking to chairman, second chairman, presidents, A&Rs, whatever. I know all these people. A lot of the people I know from before they even came in the game and had these jobs when they was coming up young. So my thing is this: my perspective and my view is just my suggestion, but I can answer a lot of questions that you lot are veering to. Where I can say, nah, that's bullshit. Stop that.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, because for me,
but I hear that,
I'm
but
saying
one
to you,
man's
there's no
perception is
Illuminati
another
around
man's-
Naomi. Naomi saw something and that scared her and she pulled out the game. There's none of that. But don't get me wrong. We can have questions and conversations about, oh shit, you see that you don't like within that system, which doesn't really work for the culture, or your eyes. That's how they pulled funding, or that. And then you always think there's a big person doing it, right? But as you get older, there's a couple of things that happen. You realize where you made mistakes. Yeah, so you're reading it wrong, you know, because remember, we like to get pissed off and tell them shut up and you're raping our thing and this is our thing. There's a lot of that, right? And then also, it's like, sometimes, you know what, it just wasn't the time. Yeah, like when I think about it, like what Naomi did back then was massive, yeah? But we always say it could have been better, but I'm like, sometimes I always tell people, you know, we done all right, you know.
Yeah.
Like she, you know, Naomi was never gonna go to America and do it, even though Jimmy Iovine ready to sign her and everything.
What do you mean? She? What do you mean she was never gonna?
I feel like the kind of person she is,
she was never gonna
at
be
that
interested
time,
in
she
that.
was never gonna take that step.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to you, sometimes someone has to step back and look, and everyone has to look and say, right, do you know what? We're trying to force a triangle through a square, and it don't make no sense. And I think you see major labels and films and all these things, when you get into these positions, that's how you feel. You feel like people are trying to push you into...
Yeah, I think this is kind of what I'm kind of imagining. You just see...
Remember, you're inexperienced, you know. It's your first time there a lot of the time, you know.
Like, so
Gotta learn the game.
For the outsider, you think, okay, you kind of see the blueprint and you would expect the escalation to be like, yeah, you now go and try and conquer America, rare, and you're doing this and you're working with... But it's like, when people see you don't do that, even though we know you've made your P's rare,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so you didn't want to take it to that. You didn't want to become
Yeah,
that
they always- they
megastar
make a
in
story.
that,
They
in
make a
that
story.
way. In that way.
But you know what I will
Do you
say?
know what I mean?
You know what I will say? I see something, is it Krept? Who's the short one out of Krept and Konan? Konan. I see something where he said he's talking to execs and their face change.
Never told this story before, and I feel like I'm just gonna say it because I feel like you should know. Anyway, when we signed it, before we signed it though, I was a bit off on it, and because the pressure was a bit much, it was like sign it. And I remember speaking to my old manager, right? And no, if I'm lying, I'm flying. He's phoned me and we're in the studio and I put him on loudspeaker, old manager, and he's like, yeah, like, what are you lot thinking about the deal? We're like, yeah, we want to sign it, but we want to wait and see what happens. And like, on God, Shams, yeah, his voice changed in like a demon's voice. Sign the deal, sign it now, sign it. I got so shook I threw my phone on the floor. If I'm lying, I'm flying, wallahi. And me and Krept just staring at the phone on the floor like, what the fuck? His voice just changed into like a gremlin. And all he kept saying is, sign the deal, sign the deal, sign the deal. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I dropped the phone and stepped back like this, and we're just staring at the phone for about 3 minutes. Like, I'm like, did you hear that, bro? He's like, yeah, bro, like, what the fuck's that? Like, that's mad. So I picked up the phone and I phoned back my manager, like, yo, bro, like, what happened to your voice, bro? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, your voice changed, bro. He's like, what are you talking about? So from then, I was a bit, yeah, this is a bit funny. Ended up signing the deal anyway, but I was like 5 hours late. They still signed it. I was a bit skeptical. If you watch the video back, my face is a bit like,
yeah,
it's a bit weird. I don't know if I was over.
And I bust up when I see that, because I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling the man he's wrong, but that perpetuates why people think like people see things and secret meetings and...
I think they
yeah, but people talk about it though.
Anyway, yeah, because...
People do talk about it though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying...
Like, as in, like...
In England?
No, as in
general.
Artists and people that have
yeah,
made
I know,
it
I've seen all of that, but for me, I can tell you this, yeah? As I think like, we run from the street level all the way up to the major level, from here to States, with Night, in terms of, remember, you don't see everything up front. So the meetings behind scenes, going to New York, going to America, Jimmy Iovine wanted to sign, Dr. Dre wanted to do the whole album. Like, what I'm saying is these things happened. I was there, yeah?
That would have been sick.
But what I'm saying to you is,
album.
on that journey, I see some things, you know, but I never see no things that make me feel like what like Konan was saying.
But maybe,
that's what I'm saying to you.
But maybe that's just your experience. But
it is just my experience.
If you talk to a next 5 man, they might say, you know, but that's my experience.
All right, let me tell you about the next 5 man. None of them have been to that level yet.
Boy, I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, because in England...
They didn't agree, so that's why
this is what I mean, like,
maybe with all due respect, you didn't reach that level.
No, but you're not getting what I'm saying.
Maybe you needed to reach, hold on, maybe you needed to reach a Konan level to hear a Konan kind of conversation. But you reached, with all due respect, my brother, yeah?
I'm totally fine with what you're saying, you know. I'm talking from a place of experience, you know.
Maybe you reached a Dynamite level with a Dynamite conversation, which is 2 different levels. Now,
so do you think a Dynamite level and Konan is different?
I do. Do you know why?
Okay.
Because I feel like, you see Dynamite now. Dynamite now is going to Garage Nation and busting up a set and smoking it without the last 20 years of work. Yeah? Imagine if you actually said to yourself, I'm going to pattern the last 20 years of work and said yes to everything you was presented. You would have been seeing Krept and Konan conversations, innit?
Wait, hold on, okay. Because regardless, that conversation that Konan was speaking about would have been at the beginning of a career where even... I think he said
it was mid-career, but my point is what you're saying.
He's been on record to say that they weren't even getting paid for all them albums and that. So, like, I think more importantly, you can't look at it as a thing of levels. You can't look at it as a thing of who was at this level rare. It's more about wait, bruv, man.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Wait,
He's
bro.
so impatient.
I just want to clarify my sentence.
Wait, it's more about usefulness. Like what are you being used for? What is the goals? What is the energy? What's the frequency of the music? Who's it being marketed to? And what people see it useful. So possibly a Miss Dynamite's type of music, which is wholesome and reggae influenced and garage influenced and house influenced and possibly that's not as useful because no one thinks of Miss Dynamite with their tits out or Miss Dynamite with her legs out or Mirror Rare, even though she's probably done those things and is entitled to do them things as a woman. What I'm saying is like we speak about Miss Dynamite and then we speak about who? Lauryn Hill, Rare, just to say that there are artists that have made a certain level of music that's been enjoyed and they haven't gone left. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Right, so as opposed to rappers like Krept and Konan, they might be having certain types of conversations because whatever you put out there is what you're attracting. You know what I'm saying? So I think that could be the solution to why Dez is moving in a way with certain artists and certain music where he's not getting ain't seen that. And next man are claiming, I don't even know what man was trying to say because man said that man sounded like demons and man signed. So I don't know. You get me? I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Let me say something clearly, yeah?
Yeah.
We're speculating on shit I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I know more than any
in
man.
terms of Dynamite,
No, not in terms of Dynamite, in terms of the music business.
the industry,
Like I've literally been in it enough and over the last 30 years in and out that there's certain myths that I think I can honestly say,
Dispel.
Yo, not to say I fuck that off totally, but like, yo,
If you
listen.
can't fuck it off totally, there's already an issue.
You can't fuck off anything totally.
Yeah.
Right, so there's already.
So what I'm saying
so
to-
there's already a possibility. There's already a probability in maths.
Yeah, but-
if you can't fuck it off, there's a probability. So man can't say Dynamite didn't or never did. Man could say when I was with Dynamite, she never entertained them type of conversations or had anything to do in taking her career to that level. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't cancel out the fact that she might have been presented with something and said no. Which if she did and said no, I think is gangster over the krept and konan that heard it and said yes. Do you know what I mean? So my thing is, I rate Dynamite more than the krept and konan because you said no over the yes if you was presented with something that didn't fit your moral compass.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I
I
need to unconfuse this because the way it went just to Dynamite again, I was just talking about the game. I'm not talking about Naomi. My point is this. But what I'm saying is like, what I'm trying to say is what Dynamite did, yeah, and this is me blowing her trumpet. What she did at that time and the level she reached, a lot of men are out here having successful careers, but they've never reached that level. Yeah, so I don't like. Listen, krept and konan doing amazing things from what I can see with the shops and everything. I really like to see what they're doing. But I'm saying to you, like, if you haven't really worked in the music business, yeah, sometimes it's very easy to speculate on what you think it is.
What's going on,
Yeah, and I'm saying to you, after someone that's worked in it on and off over the last 30 years, from here to States, Yard, whatever, I'm like, yo, man, it amazes me how people look at things sometimes. And sometimes when you see people looking at a thing a certain way, the only reason you're looking at that is because you haven't experienced it.
Yeah.
So you're making a speculation on it. And I'm like, no, not you, let me finish. And I'm saying, like, I'm here to dispel that if you want me to. But I'm not going to do it if no one don't want me to.
I'm fully hearing you.
Bro. I'm hearing you.
I can, for me, I'm in a position of, I can overs what both of you are saying and overs the reality in what both of you are saying. Like, and I put it very eloquently at the end of the at the end of the bashy episode.
I want to finish up on that as well.
At the end of the bashy episode, when you left, my eloquent words were, you can't convince a man there's a gate when a man has never been stopped. Right?
You know, yes, good point. Very good point.
The only thing you can do is appeal, to the non-ego part of his identity and say, brother, recognize that even if something doesn't apply to you, doesn't mean it doesn't apply. Yeah. So I think we're having this kind of conversation where South is saying that he believes these type of nefarious things exist, and you're saying you've never experienced them. Both of them are true. Or both of them can be true.
Both can be true.
I've seen nefarious things, but they're not applied to me, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, both
you
can
saying
be true.
that it ain't applied to you, or you don't see it, or there's myths where people might think that it's a spookiness, that's also true. And for the person that sees the spookiness, it can also
I'm going to
be
give you 2 bits of
true.
information which I think back up what you're saying, but also show my side, right?
Yeah.
I left Dynamite,
Yeah.
first time. So when I left her, my lawyer's quite powerful lawyer, big in the game, big up Sarah Stenick. And I got sent an email maybe about a month later via someone that she knows,
Yeah.
An investor, big investor.
Yeah.
And the email was between 2 parties, and it was a copy of it. And it said, Des is gone now, blah, 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 still there, but we can muscle in, yeah? And it was like investors, city types and all of that. And it was someone just telling me to say, look, just to make you know, innit? Yeah, and like what I'm saying to you is, I think that fits in with what you're saying about nefarious people trying to do. Like, there's always little things going on.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying to you, to me, it just validated like, yeah, they wanted me out.
Wanted you out of the
Because
way.
because I can't be controlled in that situation.
Facts.
But also, I'll say in hindsight, I was probably too inexperienced. Because remember, I'm meeting Dre, I'm meeting Jimmy Iovine. They're talking about America now, breaking America, and you know what? On some level in America, they love me.
Yeah.
To this day, I can chat to the man there. But at the same time, for the label, it was like, ooh, you know what? He wants it his own way too much. Do you get what I'm saying? So I understand that. And there's another thing that happened years later. Lucian Grange. I'm going to be doing a lot of name dropping, but Lucian Grange, he's the main man in America now, but he's British and he was the main man here at the time. Used to call me the ghetto Simon Fuller. You know, that's what he used to call me, yeah? So we just chat away and chat away. And one time when I come back with this act, Abandoned Babies, big up. They was a wicked act, skateboarding, tattoos, everything, dancing, real talented act. And I remember having a meeting with him, just calling to have a meeting with him in Hammersmith, and he took the meeting. And he's like, you're back. Yeah, when he heard everything, right? Anyway, made me have a couple meetings with labels. I had a couple meetings, like what came out of the meetings wasn't that great, I felt, for what we was. That was my assumption, yeah? And then one time he texted me, he hit me 2 o'clock in the morning, but whatever. And he's like, I can't make them sign. That's all he did, and let's leave it at that. He's a man of few words like that. But I took it and said, big up, G, because I know I've gone to the head honcho, but he's letting me know, yo, I can't force them to sign it. And I said, cool. And I just fall back, because what I'm saying is that the drive that I had with someone like Dynamite and what I did, like, you know, I know you got this bouncer brother, big him up, you know, first road manager. Like, nah, man. Like, I know when I started with Dynamite, there was no other man them doing
But I know,
thing.
like, even regardless of bouncer, there's many managers that were on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, the way the perception of it all.
But like, they do the proper manager thing where it's like, they're behind the scenes, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not a Suge Knight thing or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm saying to you,
It's not a front-man side.
But when-
All in the videos.
like I said, you know,
All in the
did you see
videos.
Luck and Neat? Did you
Come
see
to
Luck
the
and Neat
throat.
the other day? See Luck and Neat on AG?
Yeah.
I would love to see it, yeah. But
Yeah.
when I started, it was Luck and Neat. There was, what's his name? Who's Powell? What's his name?
Lethal B.
More Fire Crew.
Oh, more Fire Crew.
Craig David, yeah? And I'm saying, when I'm looking left and right, certain men were getting deals, but when I looked at their managers all white fellas, fat white fellas or whatever, cool people, teaching on all that, cool man, but I had no reference point to me. There was one guy who was still around Trenton, he was messing about with More Fire Crew, but I don't think all the time.
Yeah.
So I just remember, like, when I look back then, I remember just thinking, rah, you know what? Like, I understand now even more, like, like, I was out of jail.
Why is that about the manager's game? Is it because it's some like a
I don't think no one was doing it then. There's a couple man that was doing it before me, yeah? Chris Nathaniel's one, yeah? There's another guy, you know, if you think about acts, even before Dynamite, Moni Love, Cookie Crew.
Moni Love.
There wasn't much before Dynamite, you know? And then after Dynamite, look what you got now. That's the influence she had, just like Soul Solid had on the men them, and you know, Lisa Mafia, all of that. Yeah. That's what this generation coming up that's what they come from.
Yeah,
seeing that as kids. Yeah, but I'm saying before that, who did you really have? So sometimes, you know, you hear the joke though.
No, what was it?
No, he went around.
Ultimate Chaos. Ultimate Chaos.
No, but MCD.
You're going further past than that, but yeah.
I'm talking about Silver Bullet, MCD. What's his name? Hudson and Dean, Dance Connection, Cash Crew. Like, these were the things that we was running around as youths, cockpit theatre. But I'm saying, when I come with Dynamite, which is, you know, that's a whole different story, I'm just telling you, I wasn't seeing no man them left and right that was doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
And now I see them everywhere and I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Definitely.
But the reality is, you still got to cross the T, dot the I. You can be a manager, but can you really manage?
What's the secret of managing?
What's the secret of managing? Yeah, what is actually what's the true? All right, say nothing.
Do your nefarious.
So
What do you think I done? What do you think I done?
I don't know. What
did I do?
My brother, I can only vouch for what I've done in my life.
No, I respect it, man.
Vouch for
I respect it.
thing. I can believe you.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
But I can't vouch for it.
I hear you.
I don't know. Maybe you hit a point where you was like, no, fuck that ain't for me. And they said, cool, fuck you, move. But then 100 other men said, yeah, that is for me. And they've blown. And
But he said he's not.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you
have
the
you
most
ever-
I've had. The most I've had, I've never had someone sit me in a meeting and like, you need to do this or this, yeah? But I've had people call me up, like one time.
Have you ever had an artist as big as Drake under your belt?
I don't think no one has.
That's why, cuz.
I don't think who else has though? Who else has though?
Whoever Drake's manager is has.
No, but what I'm trying to say is
Whoever Stormzy's manager is has. Whoever J5 is, fuck you, J Hearts, all of them. All of them.
So
They've all got a manager that said, check on the nefarious
Some George
activities.
managers, isn't it?
why do you know that? How do you know that?
But all
Nefarious
of these people, openly speak about, not all of them, sorry.
Some of them that you mentioned, I know their managers. That's why I asked.
Sorry, not all of them. I can't say all of them. A lot of these people that are out there in the entertainment business openly speak about what they do. You've heard the likes of a French Montana talk about selling his soul. You've heard the likes of a Drake and a 21 Savage and a Krept and a Konan and a Stormzy and all
Is this
of these
really where we're
people.
going? Is this really where we're going?
I'm just saying,
Go.
I'm
We're
going
going
to
there.
say
Yeah,
this
we're going there.
because I need my point to be as clear as day.
But I think
I'm not bunning fire on
Nefarious.
talent.
But you-
I'm bunning fire on
clarify?
Nefarious.
Yeah, no,
You get
but
me?
I feel
and
like
that's where I see like
we've
a lot of
already come to
success
the
has gone to.
we've already. Like, I get that, but I think maturity, analyzation, and patience lets you know, yeah, that the enemy that you were trying to describe is a lot more sophisticated, yeah, than recruiting everyone to their face.
100%.
Yeah? You gotta remember, like, so
There has to be
like,
write-offs.
like I told you,
There has to be
there's
write-offs.
people that cut through, like I've said this early, there's people that cut through. You can't tell them there was a gate where they already cut through. I gave a great example last week. I think we was off camera when I said it though, right? I said, imagine I walk into a tiger at 6:15, yeah? And I roll in and I go to the back of the tiger smoking area, beer garden at the back, and I drink and I smoke and I'm out there. You phone me and say, where are you? So I'm in tiger. You reach there at 10:15. When you get to tiger, you phone me and say, yo, bro, they're not letting me in. There's security at the door. And I say, bro, there's no security. What you talking about? I just rolled in. No, you get me? You get me? The truth is, you've cut through, innit? Yeah. Sometimes there's a big club, and you just walk straight in, and the man behind you says, yo, I couldn't get in, that man stopped me and said, sometimes, innit? But the fact is, both can be true. There's gatekeepers.
But
One second, cuz. There's gatekeepers, yeah? And there's also people that cut through without them gatekeepers having What we're saying is, you don't know what don't approach you, right?
But who are you calling a cut through? Who's the cut through?
Sometimes
No,
you get
sometimes you
handheld.
just
No, but I'm asking, who's the cut
Right,
through?
even
Give
know.
me an
No, it
example
might
of
not
the
even
cut
be
through.
nothing to do with you.
So-
All you know is certain things you're working on. You're just working on, and they're working.
Yeah.
But let's not be ignorant to the fact that there has to be someone that's chosen.
But
to cut
then
through.
you
I
see,
think,
I see the
I think
cut
it's an
through.
immature way
You know
of
what I'm
looking
saying?
at
You see
things.
the cut
And this
through,
is
yeah.
1 second. This is why people get reduced to conspiracy theorists and that, right? Because like you have to mature. We have to mature in our worldview of how we see things, right? You gotta understand. Not everybody that's running for MP, yeah, is part of the Illuminati. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's why
but-
I've been talking about levels. And
But then again, don't think you're just gonna be the prime minister without you being part of something.
Exactly.
But it's not about levels though, bruv. It's about it's about a mature way of looking at these systems. Bro, like, go on, you're so eager to talk.
No. I'm
Mature-
thinking while you're talking, innit?
Yeah, a mature way of looking at these systems, so you're not just blanketing everybody. Because that, like, obviously, any system that worked like that would be too easy to spot. So I'm saying, yes, maybe there's people that for you to get a certain access to a certain level, if that's the level you want to be on, you're gonna have to go through. But then there's people that are just cutting through and making 50.
Like I said, there has to be
whatever,
some people are
But then
just
you see,
chosen.
but then you
bro.
see the cut through, yeah. You see the cut through.
Someone that is
To me,
chosen,
the
man.
cut through is a level, yeah. And you see, if you've had enough of cutting through, you're gonna take that giant leap to go over there, and now you're not just a cut through no more. Now you're part of the elitist team that's out there. You see, if you're doing the cut through and you're making your 100,000s and you're cutting through just to nice up your life or whatever, cool. But we're all aware, or some of us are aware of certain clubs when you hit certain numbers. So you could be a cut through, you could be nothing, you could be the elite. Tell me that's not a level, I must be going mad. But you choose what level or lane you want to be in. So you might be down here doing up road dealing. You might be up here, you might be lesser than that, bagging it. You might be up here doing bits, and you might be up here doing the bits. That's giving man the bit, but it's still levels, innit? You choose what level you want to go. Now, if you've been a road dealer and you want to exceed the level and move to the cut through level, then go and cut through. But to me, you're still in the same.
What he's talking about.
No, I'm saying none of that don't make sense. That don't make sense.
I don't know.
Swear down, that don't make
I'm
sense.
trying to think. First of all, why is he so passionate? Secondly,
Recipe in that.
like what, bro? Like you get
Swear
me?
down,
Like,
none
what-
of that don't make sense.
Right. To an extent, I do get what you're saying. Like there has to be levels to this thing. Of course, there's gonna be, and there's always gonna be someone.
Swear
setting some
down, none of
levels,
that made
right?
sense.
And yes, choices are gonna be the things that are gonna. Like, it's gonna get you there. Once you make them choices, or you're offered and give in to certain things that maybe, like take certain pictures, like put your bra on, girl. Like you know, like go and get in the bikini. Them man there. big up them, man. But they're gonna have to choose to do it in order for them to. Some people think that's the only way they're gonna get there. Let's not fool ourselves. It's been perpetuated for how many years? As long as you can.
What? But okay, let's get to the crunch. Yeah, South is saying, yeah, in order for you to be a multi-million, how many did Dynamite sell?
She done just under 1 million records when it was physical
Okay, so
of the album. Little
South
Deeper.
is saying in order to be a multi-million
Probably over 1 million now.
platinum recording artist, international recording artist, you got to be part of a club.
No, I don't
No?
know if I'd
No.
base
No?
it. I don't know
Okay.
if I'd base it on your accolade. I'd base
Okay,
it
well-
on your intention.
No.
So if you're willing to do so, then you do so. Do you know what I mean? So if you've done, say you've come out with
I'm making it very simple. Can you sell millions of albums without being part of what you're talking about?
yeah, I
you
think
can.
you can, yeah.
Okay, so what is the confusion in what?
I think it's the added extras. Now, for example, being specific based on what you're spitting, being an actor and wearing of a certain demographic and wearing a dress. These are all different.
And what did that? What levels to do? What does that do? If I can sell 1 million or millions of records,
I think that's based on popularity.
Why would I need to do
think
that
That's
then?
based on popularity. But then you see, when it comes to certain behaviours or certain reoccurring agendarist themes in your music, then I feel like that's a yes, sir, I'll do that. Do you know what I mean? Dynamite, I feel like was super popular. And whatever happened next, I don't know. But you see, after your parent, you got to, in my brain, I'm not saying I'm right, innit? In my brain, you got to gain a certain level of popularity for the powers that be to say, well, what's he about? Then after they say, well, what's he about? They might say to you, well, come over here and sign with us, but this is what you got to do. Now you're placed with the option of picking the level you're about to go to or remaining at the level you already are. So popularity-wise, I believe you could get your millions and whatever. After that now, when certain people interject in the industry, then I don't know if it's just based on popularity. Sometimes I feel like it's based on agendas. I think it's based on what you're told you have to spit about. And I think this is why I
Can
believe...
you see a difference between Miss Dynamite and Sexy Red?
Yeah, Miss
Or Cardi
Dynamite
B.
stopped where she stopped and Cardi B continued where she continued.
Stopped what she stopped.
Yeah.
But,
She
but they
stopped
never
where she
started
stopped.
in the same place though,
What,
doing the
they-
same thing.
No, but they stopped. When you say same place, what do you
Yeah.
mean? Like here? Because to me,
Well, nah, 'cause
to
you
me,
gotta
the
think, are
first
you-
Dynamite track
yeah,
ever
yeah.
and the first Cardi B track ever,
Yeah.
I would put here.
Okay,
Now-
wait.
now
Okay,
you
stop.
see,
What was the first Dynamite track that you heard?
That I heard was
Yeah.
probably Boo.
Okay, what's that tune about?
She's going. I swear they're going back and forth with So Solid No, and she's the positive version, and they're the negative version. So she's telling them, instead of screwing up your face, bubble and have fun, and they're saying, no, you can lick your shots and do what you're doing.
That's
I
kind of
believe.
interesting. That I don't think that's an intentional thing, but I think essentially it's about raving, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having fun in a rave or being lyrical and
Yeah.
you know, it's MC chat, isn't it?
It's MC chat. Yeah.
Chat about I'm so sick and I'm lyrical Dynamite.
So
and-
Solid are not on it either.
Get
It's
me.
just Boo.
Right.
Yeah, just,
Probably talking about the remix.
Yeah,
Right.
no, they weren't a remix. It was another song.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
So
They don't know. Yeah.
cool. Okay, so Boo. To me, I don't know if I'm getting it wrong, but like to me, it's like a
It's
party
a feel good
tune.
factor. It's,
Yeah.
it's a girl saying, listen, man,
jump-up
come
tune.
party,
It's
man.
talking about
Party and
boom,
jump
you
up.
know,
Yeah,
do
Boo.
your
Yeah,
thing.
it's a hype tune. Yeah.
Right.
But it was the
Okay.
first time a
Lyrics will
female
pop
had
off your
come that
head.
hard, the hard
Right,
beat
so-
and that.
That being said, though, Cardi B's first tune was about Bodak Yellow, or was it not about gang banging, chatting, this, that, rah. So, like I say, we can't. Why are we putting them on the same
It's
thing?
no- but is
It
that
don't
not-
even make sense.
Because cool. I need to clear this up. 'Cause I don't want to sound mad because I actually understand what I'm trying to say. I just don't know if everyone else is.
You're on one today, bro.
Cardi B,
Just one, man.
Fucking
Cardi
on one.
B.
Yeah,
Wherever I'm on in it, man. Just gonna. Have
Yeah, no,
to
I hear
prove
you,
it
bro.
now.
You express yourself,
Do you know
bro.
what I mean? Cardi
fine.
B now, yeah. Cardi B is intention. I'm going in there to be a badders.
Right.
Cool. Dynamite is I'm going in there to be a raver, claver, and promote positivity.
Right.
Now, as Cardi B's thing has risen up, she's comfortable in her lane. Yeah. As Dynamite's thing's risen up, I believe she's been halted and expressed what Cardi B's level is, and it's now, do you want to do this or do you want to stay in your lane? I believe Dynamite.
believe that's what happened?
No, bro, this is just, it's all speculation.
You sit next to a manager, bro.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You sit next to the man that did it with
I'm
us.
amazed.
But
I'm amazed.
this is a chance for you to clarify.
But he said
I
it
already
already.
did.
He
No,
said it already.
but-
He's already said that.
But
though.
we're going back and forth on the same conversation, isn't it? No.
I'm trying to move it on Saturday.
So
yeah?
what I'm saying is, it might be possible, whether this happens or not, I don't know. It might be possible
It never
that
happened.
Dynamite said, I'm not willing to be Cardi B.
Never happened.
And
Never
it might
happened.
be possible
Never
that
happened.
Cardi B said, well, I'm cool being Cardi B from the jump and this is my thing.
Never
So you don't
happened.
need to present me with nothing. This is already what I'm on. And it pushes you lot's agenda. So cool, I'll be comfortable doing it, innit? Dynamite might have turned around and said, no, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do that.
You've been
Or
told.
maybe that's not for me. Or maybe the career flopped or she just decided to sign off. I don't know. But I don't believe you're going to reach Cardi B level as Dynamite without doing Cardi B behavior, is my point. You get me?
So why didn't
you
Lauren
could-
Hill?
Huh?
Why didn't Lauren
But
Hill?
look, but once again, speculation. When you delve into who Lauren Hill is and what she's about and what she openly speaks about, it's bare obia. It's a whole load of obia and this and that,
Speakenomix and that.
same like Erica Badu and same like the. So you might not sing about it or be about it, but, openly. But you're damn sure talking about it, and you're damn sure promoting it, and you're damn sure screaming about certain agendas. Cause she came from killing me softly to being on stage talking fuck me.
Because
You know what I'm
she
saying?
said, because I hex you, which is brew if you do
Like, you didn't
voodoo.
start like that.
So she did though, but
She did.
but yeah,
I
that was
don't
on her
know,
first
man.
album.
Like I said, I don't know. I don't know the facts. I just believe you got to be on.
That's
fuck.
an important thing.
You get me?
What you just said, not knowing the facts is an important thing, which means you have to put humility in your assumptions, and by that, I've learned. That's why I said it's that wisdom and experience that learns you to give grace to the possibility that you are not correct and that you may not be standing in the best vantage point. Hence why I said, it's more likely that for a smart enemy that you're perceiving would not make everybody in the room the murderer. You gotta make some people not the murderer. That's how you play the game, innit? Yeah?
You have to put people in position.
Yeah.
To break,
don't-
you know what I mean?
So I'm saying-
But then don't you think it's like a monetary thing? Like what Jeds is just saying, yeah? So say,
I asked you if you think you can sell millions of records.
No, that's
And-
popular. Yeah, but I'll answer
and
that.
you said
That
yes.
to me, no,
So
that
then-
yeah, but
so
that
then-
to me
so then what
is
we talking about?
popularity. It's not monetary. So you see, for
What?
me,
If you-
so
no,
you
no,
see,
no.
so you see,
no.
listen,
Selling millions of records is
Yeah.
monetary.
To who? To the artist, not necessarily.
Well, definitely. Definitely, that's what we're talking about. Are you allowed to sell millions of... And remember, you sell millions of... As long as you're not a crackhead, yeah? If you've sold millions of albums, then you're probably not going to have to work again. Like, in the same way of anyone else. Because there's something. You get me? There's something marketable about you. You got something. And when you are a crackhead and you throw your left... Huh?
They just released a tune, done a little da-da-da-da, and just living nice.
Yeah, but you see,
haven't really had to release anything,
This is
really.
why, yeah. And once again, I'm just talking. I'm not confirming nothing what's coming up my mouth. I'm just
Pays their
talking
bills.
ideas, innit? My thing is, there's hundredaires, there's thousandaires, there's 100,000aires, and there's millionaires. Me personally, I believe they come with rules and conditions. You see what I'm saying? Just like a tax bracket. Make over 12 grand, you're going to get a phone call. Make over 10 mil, you might get a phone call. Make over 30 mil, you're damn near sure to get a phone call.
This is where I'm definitely in agreement that there is a cap of the amount of capital that you personally
That's what I've been
can have as an asset like, on your paperwork but before you have to be in clubs. Now I believe this. Look, at the end of the day, you got these man, the most profitable software company in the UK, built from scratch. Man I forgot what the name of the company is. Man got his company up to whatever, became the most profitable brand. And then what's them thing there? Forgot Packard Bell.
Oh, Packard
Bought
Bell,
it,
yeah.
Right? Bought it for like 19 billion. And then came back and said, "Rah, you've overvalued your company. Try to bump us. It's not worth rare. Yeah? Took them to court. The court case was lasting for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
These man beat the case. Two brothers beat the case.
19 billion.
Yeah? Beat the case of Packard Bell, 19 billion.
Right,
Rare.
Alright.
The ones that died,
Maybe about like a week later after the case, both of them died on the same day in different parts of the world. One died, I think, in a freak car crash.
Oh, was it like, they were like minutes apart or something?
One died in a freak car crash, and the other one was in his super yacht and got sucked up by a freak
Storm.
whirlwind, or whatever you call it. A whirlwind come and sucked his whole boat down. Yeah, freak accident,
no,
right?
yeah.
Two of them
What?
died the same day, different parts of the world. So I only say that to say this, yeah. When we're dealing with certain levels of money, you have to overstand. Yeah, we're not gonna play games and act like there's not
100%.
old money and there's not old money guards.
100%.
Yeah,
There are terms and
think
conditions that this comes
I
with.
think
the
really
business
what it comes down to is what level of threat do you pose to anything that's already gone in?
Against this.
Now, if you
Yes.
individually maybe be seen as someone that's like a bit of a revolutionary or a bit of a da-da-da, then I think there may be a cap to the amount of success monetarily you are allowed to achieve.
I wish I said
How-
this has
100%,
been my
yeah,
point.
100%.
But that's very different from saying every artist has to be given a door and da-da-da. That's a whole different thing, especially when the manager
everyone gets offered
especially
the
when the
door.
manager's
No,
sitting there
cool,
saying it,
cool.
no, sir.
But you know why? Do you know why though?
So it's two different things. Do you see the difference? Hold on, South man. Hold on, man. 'Cause you need to chill for a minute. Do you see the difference there's in my statement and the initial statement by South?
Do you know, I'm just enjoying these grapes, and all I'm thinking is, I just wish, I wish you lot had a bit of experience in the game to know that a lot of what you're saying is not without merit, but hear what? It's like, it's not exactly how you're perceiving it. So it's not to say like the Diddy parties weren't happening and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not going to them and you're doing your thing and you're just shooting through, it's not, nothing's going to bother you.
No,
if you're going around certain things, you're going to see certain things.
That's not what I mean, Des.
No, I know you're not.
I want you to comment on what I just said in terms of there is probably a cap of how much money you can make if you are a certain type of character
100.
or you don't fit in with a certain scene.
All right, so
That's not to do with music. They're
No, I
between
don't
in
think
the
it's
world.
that. I don't
talking
think
about
it's
money,
that.
money,
What I
money,
think is
So
money.
you think you would be allowed to be a billionaire?
well,
no one
listen,
would.
I think there's only a few billionaires in the world, right, in terms of numbers. So I feel like that's a real special. I don't want to talk on things that I can't even fathom right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, in terms of the music business, the way acts are looked at the major levels. Let's say you're head of Sony, head of Universal. They don't look at acts like, they look at it like market share. They look at it like assets. So therefore, sometimes you think you're getting shut down, but you're only getting shut down because guess what? We're giving this major money to this other actor we think can go further in another market where we make more money. So what I mean is sometimes the decisions are so cold, but you're never party to them. By the time it trickles down to the label, to the manager, because remember, you've got a head of accounts for the whole world for Sony or for Universal. You've got accountants in each department, but you've got the head accountant that overlooks everybody's budgets. And what I'm saying to you is a lot of decisions are made at that level. So by the time it's sheeped down to like from chairman to, you know, second in charge to presidents to managing directors, remember, wherever it goes, the message has less information and more direction. It's more of a directive. So what I'm saying to you is sometimes what you're asking me is, can someone make all that money and just go through? I think they can to a degree, but I think when you start to become more and more powerful, how you manage those new conversations in them new offices with them new powerful people depends where you go, basically, where this man's saying, like funny things might be happening, nefarious shit, or you're just becoming a better and better business person, and you know what, like, you're getting good at your game.
You're a limited business person. You're limited. You're good, but you're limited, bro. You can't go past nothing. Sky's the limit. There's no stars in space and planets. Sky's the limit for you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's something that you're just going to have to sit in agreement with if that's the way you decided to want to go. Do you know what I mean? Because anything more than that, bro, the doors is being knocked. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know where that will come from. I get that, but
So you can't. What are you saying? Like, because you need to be more deliberate and precise in what you're saying. Because it's going, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going
I
round.
think you could be the most perfect businessman or woman in the world and run your thing up until the cap that the powers that be have put in it. Once you reach the cap, you either stay there, sell your thing, they done out your thing, or you stay in your lane.
All right, let me put it this way.
I don't believe there's a way to go from £9,999, yeah, to $1 million, just for example, without a knock being on the door. You
Yeah,
wanna
but why are
stay
you
on a-
setting it as at $1 million?
No, I'm just that's
Well, then
that's
just do it
just
better.
a
Why?
price in it.
Why
I
though?
don't know what their prices
well,
are.
be realistic.
I've heard of the 10 million
Be
club.
realistic.
I've heard of the 30 million club. I've heard of the 100
So
million
what
club.
so basically you're saying you don't believe that a man can own £10 million without being in some kind of
In
secret
the, in
club?
the entertainment industry, I don't believe so. No, like a dentist or a truck owner with a trucking business or whatever, because they don't have much of an agenda.
I think
to push.
anything you-
Plus, they build the economy that we're in. Do you get me? You don't have to push an agenda. You're already building a certain infrastructure for us, regardless. So we might not have to trouble you in terms of entertainment and in terms of superior. Bro, name me the most popular trucker right now. I beg somebody. I beg somebody the most famous bin man. But man don't know that.
Yeah,
Maybe
but-
the most
but-
famous
but
artist.
big men don't make the
No, alright, cool. Shit, example.
The richest people,
the best architect guy.
The
or,
richest people are not the most famous, and even especially within the music industry.
Yeah, right. Because they don't have to be famous. They're comfortable and rich.
So here you're counteracting what you've just
But
said.
entertainment has to be famous.
No, you don't have to be famous to make money in entertainment.
Yeah.
No.
People are just famous and make money.
People
I think,
walk-
listen, I think with
famous.
anything
People
in
walk
life,
past
yeah?
you all
I
the
think with
time.
anything in life, yeah?
Producers, managers.
And you're the
Well,
face
one
of it,
second. Okay, now you're making it be the face of something. But even someone being the face of it doesn't mean that they're the power behind it, or doesn't mean that. Do you know what I mean? In fact, just being the face of a brand, I could be the face of high tech. Doesn't mean that I've even got any shares in it. Like, do you know what I mean? So you're conflating slightly different things, and I just think at the end of the day, yeah, I just put it this way, in my opinion, yeah. From when I observe international affairs and that, yeah, when I observe history, black history, European history, whatever, I understand that the power and the money become synonymous. But there's people that are powerful that have that disseminate the money.
Yeah.
So I know money is just one level of. Do you know what I mean? There's other things that are more. Do you know what I mean? Money's just a tool of the powerful to get things what they want. After a point, you're printing the money. It doesn't really make a difference. But the point I'm trying to say is, I think that there's more of a order to how things go. So if your money is allowed to grow to a point where you can amass influence, if your money can buy you influence, that can make you a problem. So we see certain political figures and that are banned from going to certain countries.
Yeah,
they have certain sanctions put on them, they're rare. And then moreover, we see like after 30 years, the FBI release paperwork about COINTELPRO, where they are deliberately trying to sabotage low-level people that are
Public
trying to
figures,
popular figures.
There's public
People,
Seen it
they try to
constantly.
sabotage people-led what do they call it? Grassroots movements,
movements, yeah.
And political figures from in the community. So they limit those
That are able
people.
to amass the
You get to a
people
certain
and
point,
galvanise
you're going to
some
get
kind of
taken
idea
down.
of what
So
should
I
be
understand
doing,
that
what shouldn't
even
be
in garnering too much power, yeah, you can be seen as a threat.
Yeah,
So
100%.
anyone trying to deny that
100%.
is an mad thing.
100%.
Sometimes that power is as a result of the money that they've amounted, or the way they've amounted in terms of like you maybe like from being a face, popular, being someone that you can see and you trust that what he says. But sometimes it's deeper than that. There's many kings and chiefs and rich people. Their plane just goes down. You've created a certain type of free energy or a certain type of technology, and so I'm not gonna deny that there's definitely
Corporate crime.
there's definitely people out here trying to keep on top.
Yeah.
And if that means that maybe even you being a small fish, not being allowed to get to a certain power place where you've got leverage, where you could turn around and say, I'm buying this estate.
Right.
Every
They
flat
can't allow-
that's,
they can't
every
allow the
flat that's
normal guy
left
to
in
do
here,
that.
I'm buying it. Yeah. Certain people can't get to that point. I believe that.
Do you know what it is?
I
yeah?
believe
Do you know
that.
what it is? My experience, yeah, and remember, we've gone from
just
music
hand
to
them
now
up.
this, yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, I think essentially what I'm hearing you lot talk about is that can you get far in life and powerful in life without having to join some club?
It's the extent.
right?
It's the extent.
And I'm saying to you, like, every time you're powerful and move up a level, perception in your life, like, I don't know, maybe, you know, you have an act and then you buy a house, you buy a car, and you live in a new
You
area.
see the new levels.
So, yeah, every time you will meet or have conversations or people will pop up and try and get to you just because you're at this new level.
Right.
Sometimes people are testing you. Sometimes you have a meeting. Sometimes they're good meetings. Sometimes they're bad meetings.
Right, yeah.
But one of those meetings, I will say, will no doubt be someone that's very powerful checking out your vibe. Yeah, and if your vibe's right, they might test the waters again. See you later. I've had meetings like that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is when they recognise that who you are and they recognise you're not one of them, those meetings will quickly stop, you know.
Are you safe?
Or you won't get invited, you know?
See after like it's stopped or you've turned down or they've seen that the energy ain't for them.
I think certain doors that they were thinking about for you probably are not for you no more. It might be for another act.
Do you believe in
But what I'm saying is, I remember a lot of it's speculation, you know.
No, of course,
A lot of it's speculation that we're talking about. And my thing is, we can get lost in the speculation. I'm saying I'm here because I'm saying I'm in them corridors.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm a very perceptive man. Yeah. And it's things I could say, which would be like raw and they're relevant to people out there now. But at the same time, they're not so much so that I think it's some big conspiracy. 'Cause remember, you know, how the big music system, the business, it's like an algorithm. It's algorithm in itself. It's how the business is. Until someone comes like a Napster, changes it to streaming or something, until someone really disrupts it. Remember, you know, you think someone's doing it to you and really the system is just systeming. It's for you to go up in it, sign in, get your little money, bust a big tune, get a bit of power, pull it off a next move, go out of house, pull off a next move. You're disrupting, innit? Anyone that's coming in the game new, you're disrupting the norm. Yeah, when Dizzy come in, boy in the corner, it disrupted the thing, innit? Remember, it was all Garage, House and G and that, Spoonie, all of them, Dream Team. He come in, boy in the corner, angry. What? Disrupted, Dynamite, disrupted. And then you get the reaps of that disruption, which is the energy of the scene, right? So what I'm saying to you is, yes, obviously things happen, but don't be so invested in it to think it happens to everyone as they get high, and it doesn't. I'm telling you it doesn't, but I'm not trying to convince anyone. I know what I know. And that's it really for me.
Did you want to add anything?
They're definitely going to get some visits though, innit?
Huh?
Like, there has to be a visit. There has to be a phone call. There has to be something.
Now, do you really think someone...
I kind of do that. I honestly feel like certain
Dynamite's done
millions.
2 million records, right?
No,
back then, right? Bam, 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 smashed it. We're nice, right? Won 3 Brit Awards. Won 4 Mobos. Won the biggest award, which was the international one that goes in the New York Times. The one that they do in Park Lane every year. I can't remember it for now, but I'll come back to me. I'm saying she's done all of this in a year. So I'm saying, don't you think at some point I would have got a call? And I'm telling you, I never got the call. So what I was
going to say was is that it's also like you could. I reckon the phone calls kind of are going to happen when people, like you said, they test you. Because I agreed with what you were saying also, right? So then they have tested you. Your energy isn't on that, so that's why it didn't. Maybe.
Yeah, but I'm saying at the same time,
no,
Dynamite can come back anytime she wants. I'll tell you that straight. No one's holding her back. If she wants to come back, she can come back. I've heard the music. I've heard the demos. I've heard the ideas. She can do what she wants. So what I'm saying to you is, sometimes we get invested in these ideas of thinking, yeah. When sometimes, you know, if you're doing what Lauryn Hill does, if you're doing what Dynamite does, if you're doing what these artists do, India Irie, do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain energy that you're doing that you don't want to fuck with the game again, you know, really. Because when you get up to certain powers and you see all the fakery, you're kind of like, well, I'm singing about reality and this fuckery. So sometimes, you know what happens? They just don't want to fuck with the game because they made enough money, got a nice little house, got their kid.
This is the point that I was.
And I'm saying we're out here speculating on them, relaxing and doing their thing.
This is the point I was trying to get to. With
I wasn't trying to speculate. I was just saying,
not you.
I'm just saying, like, you know, like you said, like.
But Lauryn Hill's gone mad.
What you were saying was
And this what I've been
But don't you see what Lauren's doing now, though? She's come back out because of her son. And she's touring with her son Aaron, they're mashing bare paper. And her son just dropping his album. So for me, you know, I see it as.
Who's that son?
YG Marley, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I see it as. I see it as this. Yo, she didn't want to come out for no one because she don't rate the game again. But guess what? She'll come out for her son.
Because her son's in the game.
So now I'll put my energy into my son. And that's why you're seeing Lauryn Hill.
I think that was a bad example, Lauryn Hill, because it's like...
business, bro.
Yeah, like you're a part of the Mali Empire.
It's the Marleys, yeah. The Mali Empire is different.
That's
It's a different
serious thing.
So what's that? Illuminati now?
I'm not even saying that, but you're a Mali, innit?
Yeah,
Mali. There's a Mali Empire, and there's power.
Mali come like royalty.
There's power behind that. And I don't know if everyone's family is allowed to get to that point. I do think that we're at a crossroads where is the unseen and the unknown, innit? You know, there's paperwork and there's reports and testimonies, and there's also people that say in Argosa. You've got people, many celebrities come out and say, look, this happened, that happened. They wanted me to do this, they wanted me to do that. So we know that it's the checkerboard. There's the light and the dark going all the way through it. However,
right, so let's say you look at the Tate brothers. Yeah. I think if there's any way, if you want to see that kind of energy, what you seeing happen with the Tate brothers at the moment, and they win America, and then they get, I'm like, that for me is the most overtly show of we want to shut you down, like government level. Like, fuck these breers.
It's funny,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's funny you say that because this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like for me,
I'm saying what we're speculating in the music business.
No, I get you.
think it's showing in what's happening to them.
I get you, and I think that I personally think that it's a play. Yeah, I think it's a play.
It's definitely a play.
And
Theatrics for real.
and I think that it's definitely designed for us to maybe even make that same assumption that, oh look, they're trying to shut these brothers down.
Okay,
I kind of see the
that.
opposite. I see Andrew Tate being used as an instigator, an agitator in society, and as a storyline in order to anchor certain things. Like, for instance,
A lot of people
like
listen to
one
him,
thing that worries, what makes it weird to me is like they are hell bent in convincing us that our kids are sitting down giving a fuck about Andrew Tate, which makes me know that this is a whole operation. Even when I watched that thing the other day, everyone's talking about
Kids
that,
ain't watching him.
that adolescence, right?
Yeah, kids
and I
ain't
come to
watching him.
realize, because I'm like watching this real. Okay,
Oh, what's
this,
that with the story of the
the youth.
the-
This ain't about black knife
cool.
crime or youth knife crime or like that. Really, it's about Andrew Tate has turned this youth or turned youths into thinking that this youth's an incel or he's not an incel, and it's Andrew Tate's fault. Men hating women. It's all the agendas that are
So he
being
was
rolled out.
mentioning
Huh?
he was actually
Listen, I
mentioning
thought that was a low blow what they did.
He
yeah?
was mentioned,
No, but what they did is
randomly.
They-
Oh yeah,
listen,
you know that
listen,
Andrew
this
Tate's
is what they
fault.
did. They mentioned him, so like you kind of made you think,
Yeah.
why they're gonna blame him?
Yeah.
But I think the way the series went, they actually showed you the true cause of it, which was the parenting. Yeah, so I thought that was a really cool series because I've never seen something being so on point before. Big up to all of them. Ashley Waters, best time I've ever seen him perform.
Oh yeah, he acted sick in it still.
But at the same time, for me, even the visual shots of it, how they'd follow them in the rooms, it was all new to me for TV.
Right,
And I was like, you know
yeah.
what? Whoever done this, like, I want to know who wrote it. I want to know who directed it because it must be something.
No,
the
there's
sandwich
many,
scene
sorry,
where he was-
unfortunately, I would say that there's many people that's been doing this one take thing. Shout out Smiler One Take as well. 'Cause I did see him, Barlin. He's been doing his thing for time, you know, doing the little street scenario, street sermons and that. But before that, there's been many different directors or whatever that have run with this one take, like just continuous shot, they call it, right?
Fluidity,
I see Smiler was like feeling like they're kind of stealing his mojo.
I know it's that- no, I
Do
know
you know what I mean?
it's that.
And I would say
it's
this,
that. I know
and
it's that.
what I did comment on the post is, I would rather see Smiler One Take directing that. Not to say I'm not supporting the claim that he created the one take thing, but he has been working in that one take
But he's mastered the
genre
art of doing that.
for a while,
he's mastered the
and
art.
I feel like I would have rather seen him get the leg up doing that rare. Do you know what I mean? I don't know who the director is. Big him
Give
up,
him a
nothing to
chance
do with
though,
it. But yeah, man. So the funny thing was when they mentioned the Andrew Tate thing, I said, okay, so this is about us.
Low blow, man.
This is about us believing that Andrew Tate has this impact on the youths. But really, sorry, could you? No, it's cool only because you're far from the mic. But really, they want us to believe that he has an impact. They're creating an impact. The kid, he wasn't on the kid's radar.
They speak about him more than anyone else
The
does.
whole of
Yeah,
LBC.
but you're
last
trying to
week,
convince us that
same
our
thing.
kids are preying
Are
Andrew
on-
Tate
are
and now
honest.
hating on women. And I'm like, bro, give us a break.
Bro.
You're force feeding this brother. So this is what I'm saying. This is where I feel like the system in itself is playing a clever trick. You're presenting us with this guy, and then you're saying, oh, look, he's being shut down by the Matrix. But the main thing is to hear and focus on this subject because it's about enmity between man and woman.
Yeah.
That's what this season is all about. Whether it's about the black perverts in the industry, the white perverts in the industry, the PDF files, the rare, the serial killer, the police officers that drag women off roads, and everyone's got to have a vigil, and then the princess of the country comes down and mixes with everyone,
Or the question with the bear and
oh yeah, was it a bear?
Would you like to be stuck in the forest with a bear
stuck-
or a man and
Right.
anything there? Bullshit.
This is all about the agenda of
Nonsense.
polarizing men and women. So whatever figure they put in there, I've kind of like transcended. No, you're definitely not out of this. Your dad was in the CIA. Like, what are we doing there? Like, I've got no like. Well, come on,
Already.
I'm too mature in this game. I see it now.
man.
So you can't give me any figures and make me love them from the outside.
Is it mad for me to say, yeah, this might be a bit, man might tell me, allow it. Is it mad for me to say that like the Andrew Tates of the world and Dr. Umars and all of that is the modern day Malcolm X's and Martin Luther's and but in another style, another...
No, I would say you're bang on. Yeah, I coined a phrase called political celebrities.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm of the belief that Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, and all these figures are what you would call political celebrities, because obviously they're known for their politics, but they become celebrated and they become like a star. You know, like famous for being famous kind of thing.
They galvanized people, didn't they, with their speeches, bro?
And I think that what I notice about these political celebrities is that a lot of them often have their roots within a certain systems. I'm just going to say certain systems and certain schools. But one thing I notice about them is that they're used to manipulate perception at certain times. People think that the system has a problem with somebody calling out the system. They ain't got no problem with that. In fact, the laws of what do you call this thing? Controlled opposition will tell you, that before you question me, I put the man in there to question me. I've already. This is called 8 Mile. Eminem. So
we see this in modern
so
politics
people are ready to. They're ready to put someone forward that will challenge the system because they need it challenged. You can't have that stone unturned because then someone's going to be like, hold on, why have we never challenged this? It has to be challenged.
So is there a plant? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like
you have to create a divide. There has to be a side created.
My take on it is this, You don't have to be implanted to be utilised.
Facts.
So he's not a plant.
You don't have to be implanted to be utilised. What I will tell you is this. There's a reason every man... There's a reason you and me know...
Some people are just chosen.
Know who Andrew... There's a reason. If they wanted him to be banished into obscurity, he would be.
100%.
Yeah?
100%.
But somehow you can do
you don't get in front of the cameras and on the paper if they don't want you on there. Many people do many things every day, madnesses.
Trust me.
They're not on the front of your paper. They're not. It's not there. So we understand. I'm not a baby in this game. We understand that when it comes to news reporting, they have told us that it's controlled via Reuters, via Stephen Murdoch, via they've told us. Murdoch, They've let us know. They've shown you more. If you've never seen that clip of like 100 different reporters all reading the same skit, talking about this is a
beat for beat on
no,
time.
Wait, hold on. Talking about this is a
echo chambering.
Hold on, brother.
That's an American
talking
news,
about,
isn't it?
There's a UK version of it. I've seen it.
Time
was old. I think the UK one that I seen was older than that one. But the words were, "This is a threat to our democracy." There's scripts. They've admitted from a long time ago. MI5, CIA, rare. They all
so
influence.
Why are we connecting all of that to tape?
Because he's come through the media. That is controlled.
I'm just asking
he's come through the media. That is controlled. Now the next step, when the media evolved, what they did is they turned me and you into reporters. They turned my profile and your profile into a news channel.
Share it.
Even to this day, we are still carrying it out. It's like a bug in the system. Because we're on here on YouTube, Speakenomix, talking about Andrew Tate.
Stuff. No, it's
you understand?
No, it's real.
And therefore it keeps unfolding. And this is why I feel like it's very important for people to control what gets into social.
I like what he's doing. He gives me a job. Don't get me wrong, I don't agree with everything.
I was gonna say, you can chat some.
But man said to me the other day, this influencer thing is going mad. I said to him, bro, there's always been influences from the names that we've mentioned before.
When he's talking about what you want to call it, immigration in the UK, and he's coming from an antagonistic point of view, unsympathetic, and almost uneducated. That's where your mask starts slipping. Because I'm like, you're educated enough to know that what you're saying is lighting a fuse. So you're obviously now you're showing you're more aware that you're an agitator. Before it was like, he's just chatting about women and people don't like the fact that he's just being real. But now I can see you're engaged in what Piers Morgan, and I see these little breadcrumbs. That's for those with eyes. You're supposed to see that this is a trail. This is a trail. You're connected to.
He done the rounds.
You're connected to Tommy Robinson.
He was
to
allowed
be honest,
do all of these things.
there's too many there's too many there's too many
fact that
too
you
much
got all of
evidence.
those links and the way it all happened, that's organised by someone somewhere. Like it's almost like it's a double-sided thing.
It doesn't have to be that.
No, I'm asking.
No, but I mean, some people will get drawn down that line and say, yeah, you were recruited by the CIA because your dad was in the CIA and you are an agent and you're actually here just to do. And I think that it's more sophisticated than that. I think it's more sophisticated than that.
Okay.
I think that you can employ people without them knowing that they're being employed. I feel like you can utilize people without them realizing. And you can also manipulate and insert narratives into people and have them carry it out. I believe Inception is more than just a film. Yep. So you may not feel that you've been recruited to put a wedge between men and women.
You're oblivious
but you are, and you're being utilised and being given wind to do so.
That's the film Soul.
You get me?
Where they bend the bullets with Angelo Jolie and that. But his dad was really a top bad man and he's been brought in to be initiated, but he doesn't know it until we learning to bend the bullets and shoot a fly's wings with the bullets. And same thing in that film. You get me? And then he clocks at the end. His dad was big business, but he didn't have a clue still.
Nah, I'm more saying that social engineering is a real thing. And
but this has been going on for many generations.
Yeah,
though.
but I think like obviously we're at our all-time ignorance to it, though, isn't it? While people are all-time awake, there's an all-time ignorance to it.
Because the generation that have been born into this is
but
social media. They've had.
What I mean is, your viewpoint, your very world view, could be so in line with the narrative and the direction that we want to go in, that there doesn't need to be any recruitment of you, whatever. If anything, we can just grease your wheels and let some doors open for you because you're already destined to go in the direction that's suitable to us. And if at any point in time you become not suitable, they get rid of you. And this is where weird things start happening to people in big places. You're like,
correct.
Why have you thrown him under the bus like Diddy? I'll be like, Diddy was doing what
was intended,
what was cool, what was all right. And now you've reached your
the end of your tenure.
The end of your tether or whatever, then you're just disposable.
They're saying he burnt
just like Weinstein, Epstein.
He went against the Ciroc boss.
Yeah, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But the point is,
seem to reach the end of your tethers.
There does seem to be a time limit to how long you can have this kind of life.
It all depends on what side of how you're rolling and what you are, innit? How valuable of an asset you are. If you're a face card, if you're not, rare. I think a lot of people forget that they are disposable and think that, I've made it so big that I'm untouchable. That's a big disease. Do you know what I mean?
That's a giant.
And then before you realise, you're like, Rod, you know what? My money can't get me out of this, or my connections can't get me out of this.
It's the arrogance that gets built up with that untouchable feeling. Right? Because some guys, they lose everything. They get locked away and they're still talking about, let me out of it, you know who I am?
You see like El Chapo? El Chapo. You don't get to be El Chapo without working with the government.
100%.
Right? So when you get that cockiness, because you've seen yourself out of many scenarios, you know that you can chat to this man, you know that you can get to this person's family, So is it cockiness or is it just like confidence?
I say arrogance.
You get me?
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's confidence until the bank accounts are frozen and the assets are frozen. Then it goes from panic. Then you got to wonder what you're doing. Then it's the realization of the game you're actually in. Yeah, and then you're put back to level 1. So you reach the level 100, you pass all the missions there. But then guess what? You didn't do something or your contracts ran out. So now they're finna teach you a lesson. You don't mean shit. Yeah, so goodbye. And I've seen that happen with how many famous
And this is the thing, you've served your purpose, and now it's time for you to be disposed of.
And you no longer need to... Who was it? There was a big rock star who turned around and said, I'll still be making an album at 80. And the interviewer said, why? And he said, because I've made a deal and I've still got a job to do. You get me? Brother with glasses and a long hair, big rock star, I just can't remember who he is. You know what I'm saying? And he said the same thing. My job ain't done. When my job's done, I could go. But where you go or how you go.
What are you talking about now?
I got a question for the panel, please. Has what's been speculated about now? Does anyone know someone that they know them personally, and it's happened to them?
In terms of what? Be
Music
specific.
business, entertainers, anyone. Is there anyone on this panel knows what we're talking about? They know as a fact it happened to someone.
What, you gotta be you gotta be precise in what we talking about. Because what are we talking about? I'm talking about the fact that Diddy reached a certain height where
We're
he
talking
felt
about the ceiling, the glass ceiling.
yeah, but
type
I just said Diddy. The last thing I was talking about was Diddy.
Yeah, I know. All right, so what I'm talking about, I think there's in a general, and the last hour of 45 minutes has generally been about, like, is there a glass ceiling? Is there the secret meetings? Is there the doors? Like, you got to do this. If you're gonna, you can only get to a certain level by going through certain doors or certain situations. I'm saying, does anyone know of someone actually going through that they personally know in the business?
Well, I'll say my scenario might be a bit different from others, but I've got inside information. Let's just put it like that way. I've got inside information to nod in the direction of the things I'm speaking. That's why I tried to be very specific. But yeah, I believe that there is a ceiling that you can not pass. I don't know, like whether it's your assets or your amount that you can make or whatever, but I do believe that it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I think in 2025, that's not a secret. You get me?
Yeah,
That's not a secret.
I agree with that.
I believe it's not what you know.
So that's your
It's
answer.
who you know. Yes, yes.
So the answer is really no. Then,
No,
isn't it?
my answer is yes. My answer is being somebody that has been made the offer. I understand.
Oh, you think that offer's happened to you?
I 100% has.
Yeah, then that's your
So
guess.
being someone that's been made the offer and is aware of a little bit more than maybe the average person on these scenarios, I would say with that, when we go to, you see, when you deal with court and you deal with reasonable doubt,
Yeah.
I believe I could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that certain fraternities hold power and hold the key to accessing certain realms of wealth or
100%.
whatever rare.
100%.
Now, remember, I've been very precise in what I'm saying. I believe that you can achieve a lot without that even being something that even comes up on you. And secondly, I don't believe that it's a problem for everybody to reach those positions. I think it's a problem for certain individuals to reach those positions without
The help of
assistance, agreeing to be part of something. You know what I mean?
Your answer is yes.
Yeah.
What's your answer?
Personally, I haven't. No.
All right, cool. That's good. His is going to be no, I believe. What do you reckon?
Possibly.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people between the
Well, I haven't, but I've seen some really funny shit.
Yeah, same.
I've seen some corny shit. I've seen some debauchery shit. Because I'm a man with perception and I know what's going on over there. I've seen shit that people speculate on in the news even to this day. And I've seen, you know what, they really were like that. Not throwing anyone under the bus. I'm just trying to say, I think I've been, over the last 25, 30 years, I've been around a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I can so see why people go this deep with it. And I do believe there's glass ceilings and all that. But I think the actual reality of it is different from the perception of it. And how it operates, how it happens, I think it's totally different from what you think. That's what I think. And that's me thinking. And I definitely feel like I'm the most experienced person on this panel to say I'm the closest to any of that. That's all I think. But I'm like, I've got friends that are well up there, still up there to this day, made all the money, living the life. And you know what? It is what it is.
Okay. Does that
And their integrity has stayed intact throughout their careers in that regard.
Do you agree that you could never know what a next man does, though?
No, 100%. But I think when you say things like that, what it does on a panel like this, what it does, it just gives room to go into another dark
There's
hole.
too many variables for it not to.
But I think
both can
truth
be
is
true,
truth.
innit? Both of them can be true, though.
I'm like, in life, you
You know
can
what I'm
never
saying?
know
Both of
everything.
them can be true,
So that's
innit?
just standard. I'm not here to debate that. I get it.
Remember
Like,
what I said about the man that walked into Tiger at 6:15? You can't tell him that there's security guards and metal detectors and a man with a dog and they're asking for ID. That's
right.
You can't tell him that. He's in his beer garden, he just walked in. Yeah, he barely looked up. Sometimes we got to recognise where we are on the chessboard and understand that there's You know, also, when Des is telling me that you can just roll into Tiger at 6:15 and it's all cool, he's also correct.
It's true.
When I'm telling him that, bro, make sure you ain't wearing nothing with air bubble, you know, because they kill me.
At a certain time, you can't. Yeah, you
and
can't
it's the same
parlay now.
venue. It's the same venue.
I'm missing this Tiger thing. What was it again?
So if you go in at 6, you're cool. If you're staying until it turns into
Oh,
a
yeah,
club
yeah, okay,
situation,
yeah, you should
now you
mention
have,
that. Yeah, I
it's
get
got
it.
security guard on the door, like you
Yeah.
said, detector and
Can't be
ID
in-
and
Tiger
Tigers up
certain
first,
way,
innit?
but if you just been there for
Whatever.
early,
I'm just saying these day bars that turn into a
club,
shoot.
yeah.
Like
Same
the
business,
example.
different rules.
Yeah, the
for different
example
demographics.
is-
you know what? You need to come to them bars with me, man.
Yeah.
Come with me, man. We're all true, man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing with who you know.
Right, there
So
you go.
doors
I
can
think
open
links.
for
You see
people.
what? As I got older, I think links run the world, but people think money do.
No.
Because you can have all the money in the world, but if you ain't got the right links, it don't mean nothing.
I think we're agreeing.
Yeah, 100%.
Links run the world. That's my experience.
Yeah,
Links
yeah,
run the
yeah,
world.
yeah.
So here, what? When you
I'm
get
in
your bit
full
of money or you
agreement.
get your
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what's your network book like? And if
Right,
you got the
there you
right
go.
phone numbers or the right links, you're gonna go to the
And
next
how do you
level.
get numbers? You go for lunch. How do you go
Network,
for lunch?
yeah.
Network.
Sit down.
What's the ultimate networking thing in structures of power? The Freemasons. Are we
100.
gonna pretend
Listen,
it's
my
not?
godfather was a
100,
Freemason.
Of course.
Is
Of
you know,
course.
and I've seen as I've got older, I know a lot of Freemasons. I'm not one myself, and now I look at them as grown man clubs.
Are you ready to unlock a world of exclusive content, behind-the-scenes access, and become part of something truly illuminating? Look no further than the Triluminati Patreon page. Welcome to the Triluminati Patreon page, where the extraordinary meets the exclusive. As a patron, you'll be the first to see our latest videos, artwork, and projects before anyone else. But that's not all. Early access, exclusive Q&A sessions, personalized shout-outs, and even one-on-one chats with our team. It's like having a backstage pass to our creative world. Plus, you'll be part of a vibrant community of fellow Triluminati members where you can exchange ideas, collaborate on projects, and make lasting connections. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of something extraordinary. Join the Triluminati Patreon page today and start your journey towards unlocking your full creative potential. Triluminati Patreon. Triluminate your passion. Unlock your potential.